Talking about the West, our neighbour in this direction was once a part of India. Pakistan celebrated its first Independence Day one day before India, August 14, 1947. But it took a full 9 years to write a constitution. Pakistan became a republic only in the year 1956. And now, in 2023, Pakistan is struggling to keep the lights on. This week, the entire country was plunged into darkness. This is what it looked like. This was Pakistan's biggest outage ever. Its national grid failed. 220 million people were without electricity, many of them also without food. There is an acute shortage of food, plus they're running out of cash. Reports say Pakistan has money to cover just 3 weeks of imports, and the security situation is worsening by the day, so much so that Pakistan could now break up. This is not an exaggeration. We have facts to back this up. Since its birth, Pakistan has been broken once. That was in 1971 when Bangladesh declared independence. And now 50 years later, Pakistan seems to be on the verge of yet another breakup. In December, the Pakistani parliament was in session and a lawmaker's statement summed up the crisis.
वहां पर दहशतगर्दों ने कब्जा कर लिया है. जिन लोगों ने भी उस काबुल के टेक ओवर को सेलिब्रेट किया है, आज हमारे वो मुजरिम है. जिन लोगों ने भी फैसिलिटेट किया, जिन फौजी जर्नलों ने इस चीज को फैसिलिटेट किया, उन सबको भी हमें कटहरे में खड़ा करना होगा.
Khyber Pakhtunkhwa was captured by terrorists. This is a province of Pakistan, the northwestern province, also the country's smallest. Last month, Pakistan's interior minister also spoke about this. Rana Sanaullah said thousands of terrorists are in Khyber Pakhtunkhwa. 7 to 10,000, he said. They belong to the Tehreek-e-Taliban Pakistan, the TTP, a group birthed by the ISI. Pakistan's infamous spy agency. The TTP was a fallout of the ISI's activities in Afghanistan. The Pakistani military backed the Taliban. They helped the Taliban come back to power, and now those chickens are coming home to roost. The same Taliban terrorists are haunting Pakistan's military. They have become Pakistan's biggest security challenge, so much so that there's talk of Pakistan breaking up further. Let me show you a video. It's a propaganda video released by the TTP, the Pakistani Taliban, if you will. What do you think was happening here? Those were snipers from the Pakistani Taliban. They were attacking Pakistani soldiers. They have invaded Pakistani territory, openly attacking the military and then releasing propaganda videos about it. Why is this a big deal? To understand that, we must first understand who and what this group is. The Tehreek-e-Taliban Pakistan is an umbrella organization of terrorist groups, 3 in particular: the Taliban in Afghanistan, the Al-Qaeda, and the Islamic State Khorasan, or ISIS-K. The TTP was formed in the year 2007 by a man called Baitullah Masood, the one said to be behind the assassination of Benazir Bhutto, former Pakistani Prime Minister. She was killed in 2007. Back then, the group had spelled out 3 goals for itself: enforce Sharia law in Pakistan, support the Taliban in Afghanistan, and conduct a jihad against Pakistan security forces. 3 goals. But in the years that followed, this group was divided and weakened. In 2020, it came together again. This is an assessment of the United Nations. It believes the TTP has strongholds on both sides of the Afghanistan-Pakistan border, and it boasts of several thousand fighters now. Experts say the Taliban continues to provide a safe haven to this group. The TTP is now challenging Pakistan's sovereignty. It is attacking the military. Pakistan has lost a high number of security personnel to such deadly attacks. And I have some figures, some numbers. In 2021, 270 Pakistani security personnel were killed. Last year, in 2022, 282 lives were lost. In 2020, this number stood at 163. The casualty figure has shot up, as you can see, and this is courtesy the Taliban. Most of these attacks were reported from 2 regions, Khyber Pakhtunkhwa and Balochistan. A few months ago, the TTP stepped up its campaign. In November, they unilaterally ended a ceasefire and issued orders to their fighters. They were told to carry out attacks across Pakistan. In December, the TTP stormed a police station in Khyber Pakhtunkhwa. At least 13 people inside were taken hostage, and reports say there were 33 hostage takers. The Pakistani security forces had to launch a major operation to flush out the hostage takers, but their masters are still at large, posing a threat and plotting Pakistan's breakup. In fact, reports say the TTP has announced its own government for northern Pakistan. A statement was published in the Khorasan Diary. It is said to be the mouthpiece of the TTP. The group has announced a cabinet. It has also appointed officials to ministries like Defense, Judiciary, Information and Political Affairs and others. Obviously, this is a symbolic move because governments in northern Pakistan still remain very much in control. But the TTP made its intentions pretty clear. It is openly challenging Islamabad and Rawalpindi. It is issuing death threats. Earlier this month, the TTP released a statement. It threatened Pakistan's top leadership. It named Pakistan's Prime Minister Shehbaz Sharif and Foreign Minister Bilawal Bhutto Zardari. Allow me to quote from that statement. If these two parties remain firm on their position, then action will be taken against the leaders of these parties. People should avoid going near them. This is being seen as a death threat. Pakistan security forces are on notice from a beast of their own creation, and this is just one front. There's another one in Gilgit-Baltistan, that is in Pakistan-occupied Kashmir. A major protest is on there, and this too could reignite calls for independence. Now look at these images. These protesters are talking about the Kargil-Skardu road. It links Pakistan's Gilgit-Baltistan with India's Ladakh, but the road remains closed. These protesters want it reopened. Some reports say they want to be reunited with their fellow Baltis in Ladakh. Baltis are the people of Baltistan. They're disenchanted with Pakistan. They're suffering on multiple counts: skyrocketing power bills, tax hikes, land grabs, growing shortage of essentials. Pakistan is facing what we call the perfect storm. On one hand, the TTP threatens to take control of territories in the north. On the other, Gilgit-Baltistan is on the boil, and in the south, Balochistan wants to break free. The dire economic situation has alienated the masses. The economy is sinking. The terror policies are backfiring. As India celebrates its 74th Republic Day, Pakistan is struggling to keep the country together.